65 million years ago, Earth looked completely different. Right where you're sitting now, dinosaurs once roamed freely, from the deepest oceans to the highest skies, from creatures weighing over 100,000 kilos to birds bigger than 4 elephants. This world belonged to them. But what happened that wiped them out in just a few hours? Why did only our ancestors survive? And how did humans come to exist on Earth? Let's travel back in time to find out. This was our planet back then. Because of the high oxygen levels, massive trees, as tall as a 30 to 35-story building covered the land. And among them lived dinosaurs. This is Dinosaurs, as tall as an 8-story building. It could devour entire forests in a single day. Back then, Earth looked like this. These are the chalk deserts where rain hadn't fallen for millions of years, yet dinosaurs still rule. And this is India. It was moving toward Asia, and back then, Indian land was covered in lava. Here roamed the mighty Rajasaurus, the true king of this land. The landscape was unreal, from creatures as long as a bus to crabs the size of humans. This world was nothing short of extraordinary. Now look at this. In the vast American deserts, giants like Dinosaurs roamed, as heavy as 20 elephants and taller than an 8-story building. They had gathered here to lay their eggs. The echoes of dinosaur roars filled every corner of the planet. But little did they know, tonight would be their last night alive. The beginning of the end. In our solar system, between Jupiter and Mars, countless asteroids orbit the sun. 100 million years before the impact, 2 such asteroids collided. A massive fragment broke off and started hurtling toward Earth. As it neared, some pieces crashed into the moon. But its speed was so great that the moon's gravity couldn't stop it. It kept accelerating toward Earth. As it entered our atmosphere, friction set it ablaze. It was traveling at a mind-blowing 50,000 miles per hour. And then, impact. 1:30 a.m. Night turned into day. 4 minutes before impact, its blinding light spread across the entire planet. Nearby animals went blind instantly. Even before touching the ground, the ocean below evaporated into thin air. And then it hit. The explosion unleashed energy equal to 100 million nuclear bombs. A 10,000 degrees fireball engulfed everything, instantly vaporizing all life in its path. The land within a 90-mile radius was blown into space, and only 5 seconds had passed. The shockwave of doom, a shockwave, traveling at 340 miles per second, spread across the planet, turning rocks into bullets, flying through the air. Rivers started flowing backward. Forests collapsed. Mountains crumbled. And then came the deadliest heat wave ever. Flying debris melted into lava, igniting everything in its path. Every drop of water that came into contact with it instantly vaporized. The oceans began to boil. Within moments, jungles turned to ash. Animals literally cooked from the inside out. And this was just the beginning. A sky on fire. Thousands of tons of debris were blasted into space, only to be pulled back by Earth's gravity. But as it re-entered, it caught fire. Fiery rocks rained down, obliterating everything in their path. The impact had shaken the Earth from within. Massive earthquakes tore the land apart. The tremors were so intense that the seafloor collapsed, suffocating marine life and triggering mass extinction underwater too. And still, only 5 minutes had passed. Above ground, chaos had taken over. A dense cloud of burning dust and molten rocks spread like a tsunami, devouring everything in its way. The air itself turned toxic. Lightning storms erupted in the sky. Even giant dinosaurs were thrown into the air like feathers. Within moments, this deadly storm reached Africa, turning even the chalk deserts toxic. And then the ocean itself rose higher than the clouds. A mega tsunami was coming. The final hours of the dinosaurs. Within 5 hours, the entire Earth was buried under a thick layer of dust. Global temperatures skyrocketed. Forests across the world were on fire. The impact had awakened dormant volcanoes, spewing even more destruction. Every second, the planet got hotter. Oxygen levels plummeted, ice caps melted, and floods swallowed the lands. In the aftermath, only a few creatures survived. Small insects, underground creatures, and a handful of mammals, the only ones who could withstand the toxic world above. 70% of all life on Earth was gone. Some dinosaurs still survived, either the smaller ones or those who had taken shelter in deep caves. Marine creatures deep in the ocean also made it, but their fate was already sealed. The final blow. Days later, poisonous clouds covered the Earth. Acid rain poured from the sky, poisoning the oceans. Slowly, even marine forests started dying. The once lush Earth turned into a frozen wasteland. Months later, the entire planet was covered in ice. But somehow, our ancestors survived. Unlike dinosaurs, they had learned to hide, adapt, and eat whatever they could find. They survived for months underground, where the Earth's warmth still lingered. And in the darkness, a new age was about to begin.